everyone, hope you're doing well. So in our session, we are going to discuss our new lesson, which is the sets. So first, we have to define what's the meaning of a set. So a set is a group of elements. So what do you mean by group of elements? Supposedly, we have the set A, which contains the numbers 1, 2, 4, 5, and let's say 7. So first, when we want to write a set, we have to open two curly braces, and then we have to separate each element by a comma. So this is one condition for writing a set. So each number in the set, this is a set of numbers. Each number in this set is called an element. So we have 1, 2, 4, 5, and 7. They are the elements of this set. Okay, so the set is not necessarily to be containing numbers. It can be a set of letters or a set of names. For instance, if we have the set B, which contains the letters A, X, Y, C, for example, this is a set of letters. It contains 4 elements, which are A, X, Y, and C. Another set, it can contain some names. For example, if I have the set Rana, let's say Ali, and then we have Lama. This set C contains 3 names or 3 elements. Okay, now let's move to another important concept, which is the belong or does not belong. Okay, so when we use the belong symbol or does not belong symbol, we use it if we want to check if an element is existed in a set or not. What do we mean by it? Let's say that we have the set A. It contains the number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We have the number 1. 1 is found or existed in the set A. It's existed in A. So 1 is an element of the set A. So we can say that 1 belongs to the set A. Another example. We have, let's say, 4. 4 is found or existed in the set A, so 4 is an element of A. Since 4 is an element of A, so we can say that 4 belongs to the set A. However, let's say we have the number 10. Okay, let's search for the number 10 in A. 10 is not found in the set A, so we can say that 10 is not an element of A. Then we can say that 10 does not belong to the set A. Okay, so now let's take an application. Okay, so we have to complete with belong or does not belong. Belong or does not belong. Supposedly we have the set A. It contains the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we have the set B, which contains the letters A, B, C, and D. So let's check. 1, is it belong or does not belong to A? So 1 is existed in A, so we say 1 belongs to the set A. A as a small letter, is it belong to the set A? A small is not existed in A capital, so it does not belong to the set A. Another example, if we have B and B capital, we have to check if B small, the letter B, is existed in the set B. So we can find this letter B in the set B. So we say that B belongs to the set B. Now for D. D, it's existed in the set B. So D belongs to B. Also, if we want to search for the number 11 in the set A. So 11, it's not existed in the set A. So we say that 11 does not belong to the set A. Also, for the letter Z, let's say, Z, it's not existed in the set B, so Z does not belong to the set B. Okay, and now we're moving to another concept, which is the cardinality or the cardinal of a set. What do we mean by the cardinality or cardinal of a set? Cardinality, it means it's the number of elements of a set. For example, let's say we have the set A, which contains the letters A, C, E, and F, let's say. So the set A contains 4 elements. We have the A, C, E, and F. So we have 4 letters. Then A contains 4 elements. Then we can say that the cardinality or the cardinal of A, it's equal to 4. It's the number of elements existed in a set. Let me give you another example. If we have the set B, which is contains only curly braces with no elements in it. So in this case, since B contains no elements, then we can say that B, the cardinality of B, it's equal to 0 in this case. Another example. Let's say we have the set A, it contains the number 0. Okay, so in this case, A contains only one number. So it has only one element. Then the cardinality of A, it's equal to 1. هلا في اشخاص بيغلطوا فيها انه لانه شفنا النمبر 0 بقلب السات بس موجود عند 0 بفكروا انه الكارديناليتي it's equal to 0. It's not my business to look at the number. يعني اذا كان عندي for the set B كان عندي the number 1000 for example, هون في عندي only one number or one element, then the cardinality of B it's equal to 1. So regardless of the number existed inside the set, we can say that only we count the number of elements, then we can determine the cardinality regardless of the number. Okay, so إذا كان 0 or 1000 or whatever ما بيهمني, so بس طلع على عدد numbers that are in the set. Okay, now we have to talk about the types of a set. Types of sets. So we have 3 special types of sets. First we have the empty set. من اسمه empty يعني it contains no element. The empty set كيف بيجي الفورم اللي إلها؟ حسميها مثلا the set A. إذا كانت empty, it only has 2 curly braces with no elements, or we have another symbol for the for the empty set, which is the circle. Then we put a cross on it. Okay, so the empty set it contains no elements. ما فيها ولا رقم ولا حرف ولا أي شيء. Also إذا بدي طلع على cardinality of this set, cardinality of the set A or the empty set, it's equal to 0 since it has no elements. Another type of sets, which is the singleton. So we have the singleton. From its name, single, which means one. So it contains only one element. It can be one name, one letter, one number, or whatever. For example, if we have the set A, it has the letter X. So the set A, it contains only one letter, so it's a singleton set. We can say that A is a singleton set. Another example, if we have the set B, it contains the name Rawan, for example. It contains only one name, so B is also a singleton set. Okay, now we have to move, before the cardinality of a singleton set, the cardinality of the set A or B in this example, it's equal to 1 since it contains only one element. Okay, let's move to the last one, which is the pair set. So from its name, pair, by pair we mean it has 2 elements. It contains 2 elements. For example, if we have the set F, it contains the letters X and Y. So here it contains 2 elements, so the cardinality of F, it's equal to 2. So each set that has a cardinality equals to 2, then it's called a pair set. So we can say that F is a pair set. Another example, if we have a G, it contains the names, let's say Ali and Nada, for example. So these 2 names, then G is called a pair set, and it has a cardinality equals to 2. Okay, great. Now we have to talk about a very important concept in our lesson, which is the set of numbers. Sets of numbers. You have to pay attention a lot to this section. Set of numbers. The first set that we are going to talk about, which is the set N, or the set of natural numbers. Set of natural numbers. So what do we mean by natural numbers? By natural numbers we mean the numbers that they are non-decimal numbers, they are non-decimal, also they have to be positive numbers. Okay, so for example, if I say the number 1 is a natural number, 1000 is also a natural number, 248 for example is also a natural number, since they all are a non-decimal numbers and they are positive at the same time. So the set n, it starts from the number 0, then it continues 1, 2, 3 and so on. It contains infinite number of elements. Okay, so now let's move to the second set, which is the set of integers, or it has the symbol Z. This is the set of integers. So what do we mean by integers? By integers we mean non-decimal numbers. They are non-decimal and they can be either positive or negative. Yeah, for example, if I say the number -4, it's an integer. Why? First, it's negative. Also, it's a non-decimal number. Another example, if we have 100, it's also an integer. 100, it's a natural number, also it is an integer at the same time, since it's a positive number and it's non-decimal number. So the set Z, it contains all the numbers that they are non-decimal numbers. So Z, we can say that it starts from negative numbers, let's say -4, and everything below -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, and it continues 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. So we can conclude that the set Z, or the set of integer, it's much bigger than the set n. Also, we can say that if we take the example +100, +100, it existed in n and also it's existed in Z. However, -4, it's found in Z but not in n. So we can conclude that Z, it's a bigger set. Also, the set n is a part of the set Z. يعني, for example, let's say إنه عندي هذه set Z. Also, we have the set n. So n contains only the positive numbers, while Z contains the positive numbers as well as the negative non-decimal numbers. Okay, so we can say that n is a part of the set Z. Z is a much bigger set. Okay, now the third type, or the third set that we are going to talk about, which is the set of rational numbers. So you have to pay attention to this one. Okay, so how can I determine if the number is a rational number or not? The rational numbers, they can be written as a fraction in the form of A over B, where A should be an integer, it's a non-decimal number, and B is an integer. So هذا الكونديشن الأساسي لحتى أقول عن number هو a rational number, it can be written in the form of A over B, where A and B they are integer. وأكيد B should be different from 0 لأنه بالdenominator we shouldn't write 0. يعني for example, if I say 1 over 6, 1 over 6 is a rational number. Why? Because 1 is an integer and 6 is an integer, and it can be written in the form of a fraction. Let's say 8 over 3, this is a fraction. Its numerator and denominators are both integers, so it's a rational number. Another example, if we say the number, let's say 2, the number 2 can be written as 8 over 4, for example. So 2, it can be written as a fraction that has the numerator and the denominator as integers. So we can say that the number 2 is a rational number. Then 2 is a natural number, since it's a non-decimal number. Also, it's a positive. Also, we can say about 2 is an integer. Also, we can say that 2 is a rational number. Then we can conclude that 2 is existed in the three sets, in N, Z, and the Q. I will give you another example. If we have -6, -6 we can write it as -12 divided by 2. Then -6 can be written in the form of a fraction, where the numerator and the denominator, they are both integers. Then we can say that -6 is a rational number. So -6 is a rational number. Then minus 6, it's an integer since it's a non-decimal and negative number. Also, it's a rational number. Then we can say that the integers and the natural number مثل ما شفنا من شوي بالexample 4, it's a rational number. يعني natural numbers, they are rational numbers. Also minus 6 يلي هي an integer, it's also a rational number. So we can conclude that the set Q or the rational numbers, it's the biggest until now عم بحكي, it's the biggest set out of them. So we have Q is the largest set, then we have the set Z, then we have the set N. شو الفرق بيناتهم؟ مثل ما حكينا هون non-decimal positive number, هون non-decimal negative numbers. هون ال Q they can be decimal either positive or negative including the non-decimal numbers. يعني هون مثل ما حكينا مثلا عندي 1/6 بينما الفراكشن ممنوع يكون موجود بقلب الزد والان. or مثلا 8/3 they are rational numbers but they are not integers neither natural numbers. Also في عنا طريقة تانية لحتى أعرف whether it's a rational number or not. إذا عندي let's say the number 1.658 for example. This number, it contains a limited part of limited part of decimals. يعني إذا عندي أنا رقم كتير طويل والديسيمالز اللي إله ما بيخلصوا, هون it's not a rational number. شرط إنه هيدا النمبر ممنوع يكون ينكتب as a fraction, لأنه إذا بينكتب as a fraction integer over integer it's a rational number. بس إذا عندي رقم كتير طويل وما بينكتب as a fraction بطل rational number. هلأ حنحكي عنه بالسكشن تبع الrational. So هون في عندي limited decimal part. So هيدا it ends. هيدا الرقم بيخلص. So هيدا it's a rational number. Another example. If we have the number مثلا minus 2.45, كمان it has a limited decimal part. So هيدا it's also a rational number. طيب another way كمان لحتى أعرف it's a rational or not, حمحي هون. If the number is not terminating, يعني ما بيخلص هيدا الرقم, بس في عندي شرط مثلا مثل 1.66666 etc. It's always 6 for example. هون the number we can say that it's periodic. What do we mean by periodic? يعني it's the number is repeated in this case. So هون 6 عم بتضلها تنعملها repetition. إذا الرقم the decimal part it's not ending but it's repeated, then we can say that it's a rational number. So I will make a summary about the rational numbers. They can be written in the form of a fraction where a and b both are integers. This is the first case. Also the second case, if it has a limited decimal part, and it ends, limited decimal part. Also, if the number is periodic. Periodic and it's repeated, as we seen in this example. Okay, now let's move to the fourth set, which is the Q bar set, or the set of irrational numbers. So what do we mean by irrational numbers? So in order to be an irrational numbers, two conditions should be validated. For example, if we say the number pi, or the symbol pi, pi is 3.14 and it continues. It's a long number, it doesn't end. Also the decimal part, it's not periodic and it doesn't repeat itself. It's not periodic. So هون لحتى أقول عن number هو irrational number, أول شيء ممنوع يكون بينتهي, يعني it's not terminating. Also في عندي اثنين conditions هون. Also it's not periodic and it's not repeated. The decimal part it's not repeated. Also بدي أقول عن شغلة إنه the irrational numbers they cannot be written as a fraction. نحن قلنا لحتى ينكتبوا as a fraction وعند ال A will be both are integers, هيدا صار rational. So irrational بعكسه هو any number that cannot be written in the form of a fraction where A and B they are both integers. Okay, هعطي example بعد عليها. إذا بنعمل على الكالكوليتر radical 2 it's equal to 1.4 etc. It's a long number that it doesn't terminate and it's not periodic at the same time. Also radical 3, radical 11, these numbers all are irrational numbers. بدي أعطيكم note إنه For example, a rational number, if it's divided by or added or minus or multiplied by any number, it's still irrational. بتضل تعطينا irrational number. يعني مثلا for example نحن قلنا الباي it's irrational. 3 pi يعني 3 multiplied by pi it's still irrational number. For example, another example. إذا عنا 1 plus radical 2. Radical 2 it's an irrational number. If we add it with 1, it's still an irrational number. Also in the case of subtraction or multiplication or division, it's the same. For example, if we have radical 11 divided by 3, radical 11 is an irrational number, so radical 11 divided by 3, it's still an irrational number. Okay. Now, for the last one, which is the set of real numbers, which is the set of real numbers. Any number that comes to your mind is a real number. For example, يعني بدون ما أفكر فيها أصلا، أي رقم بقول لك عنه مثلا radical 2 is a real number. 2 plus 1 over 6 for example, هيدا it's a real number. Pi is a real number. For example, let's say radical 11 plus 1 over 6 minus 5, let's say. So all these are real numbers. Any number is called a real number. So we can say that all the numbers are real numbers. يعني حتى مثلا 4 is a real number. 4 هي natural number وهي integer وهي rational number. It's also a real number. Minus 11, it's an integer, it's a rational number, it's also a real number. Okay. So هلا صار فينا نحن نعرف إنه real number it's the largest set existed. هيدا real numbers. Then من بعد real numbers في عندك part منها هو عبارة عن rational numbers، أصغر بتجي شوي من الريل، لأنه الريل هي عبارة عن rational numbers plus irrational numbers. أوكي. بينما الكيو هي بس عبارة عن rational numbers. بقلب كيو في عنا set أصغر منها بشوي which is the set Z or the set of integers, and the smallest one which is the set N or the set of natural numbers. So بدي أعطيكم بس one note كمان about the sets which is the star symbol. لما يكون في عندي star. Let's say that we have N star or Z star for example. N star, what does the star symbol mean? It means that 0 should be excluded from the set. يعني أنا بدي أمنع أو ممنوع حط الزيرو بقلب هيدي الset. Should be excluded from the set. يعني we said that the set N starts from 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on. هلا إذا أنا عندي N star يعني 0 we should cancel it. So the set N star starts from 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. Also إذا كان عندي مثلا Z star for example, the Z star it starts from all the negative numbers and the positive numbers and they should be non-decimal أكيد. يعني مثلا بالZ star خلينا نقول كل negative numbers. Also we have مثلا minus 3, minus 2, minus 1. بس 0 we should cancel it لأنه في عندي star. So منقلت عن 0 then we continue 1, 2, 3 and etc. Okay. Another thing I should mention which is the symbols about N star. إذا كان عندي N star some books بيكتبوها بطريقة تانية which is N slash the set 0. يعني from the set 0 we are excluding the number 0 from it. From the set N we are excluding the number 0. Or في طريقة تانية which is N minus the set 0. يعني شلنا number 0 from the set N. إذا نفس الشيء كرمال Z slash 0 هي ذاتها Z star وهي ذاتها Z minus 0. So هيك كل الاحتمالات بنكون نحن بنعرفها. Okay, I will give you a very important application so you have to concentrate very much لأن mostly بيجي بكل امتحان. Okay, let's say we have first I will write the question which is complete with belong or does not belong. Okay. Let's say we have the number radical 81 and also we have the set Z. I have to complete with belong or does not belong. Let's say radical 81. Radical 81 it's equal to 9. 9 is a non-decimal number. It's a positive number, so it's belong to the numbers to the set Z. So we can say that radical 81 belongs to the set Z. Another example. If we have minus 2 radical 4 over 4, we have to find whether it belongs to n or not. Minus 2 radical 4 over 4. Here, minus 2 multiplied by radical 4, it's equal to 2 over 4. So هي بتطلع minus 1 عنا. Minus 1, it's not existed in n. Also فينا نعرفها لأنه هيدا negative number والnatural numbers they are only positive. So دغري فيه حتى does not belong, بس عم بعملكم proof لإلها. So هون طلعت عندي minus 1. Minus 1, it's an integer. It's not a natural number. So هون دغري بنقول it does not belong to the set n. Another example. إذا عنا radical 2 all squared, I have to find whether it belongs or does not belong to the set of irrational number, q bar. So radical 2 square, so we know that the square cancels the radical, so it's equal to 2. 2, it can be written in the form of a fraction or not. Of course, yes, since it can be written as 8 over 4 or etc. So 2 is a rational number, it's not an irrational number. So here, it does not belong to the set q bar. Another example, if we have 3 over 5 and we have the set q. 3 over 5, it's a fraction. It's a fraction that consists of a numerator and denominator where both are integers. So it's a rational number, then it belongs to the set q. Also, we have, let's say, 2 pi, and I have to find whether it belongs to the set q or not. Sorry, q bar in this case, يعني irrational number. مثل ما شفنا بالexamples, pi is an irrational number. An irrational number multiplied by any number, it's still an irrational number. So هون 2 pi is also an irrational number, so it belongs to the set of q bar. Another example, if we have minus 4, it belongs to the set n. Of course not, since it's a negative number, then it doesn't belong to the set n. We also have 100 over 4. Does it belong to the set Z or not? 100 over 4, it's equal to 25. 25 is a non-decimal number and it's also a positive, so it belongs to the set Z. So this one belongs to the set Z. Another example. We still have 2 examples and then we're done with this exercise. So minus 1 over radical 9, I have to find whether it belongs to the set Q or not. Minus 1 over radical 9, we know that radical 9 is equal to 3. So this is a fraction that contains in the numerator and denominator both integers. So it is a rational number, that it belongs to the set Q. So here we write it belongs. The final one, we have 2 plus radical 6 and we have the set R. We know that any number that comes to our mind is a real number. So هون على العميان بنكتب it belongs to the set R. Okay, then we're done with this exercise. Now let's move to the finite and infinite sets. What do we mean by finite and infinite sets? So we have the finite, we also have the infinite sets. Okay, supposedly we have the set A, it contains the letters A, B, C, X, Y. Okay, so how many elements in the set? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this set, it has the cardinal or cardinality equals to 5. As long as we are able to count the number of elements of the set, it's called a finite set. So هون the number of elements in the set A, it's countable. So أنا بقدر أعدهم لهدول elements الموجودين بالset A. So it's a finite set. بينما if I say that count the numbers that are existed in the set N, in the set of natural numbers. Like we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 until infinity. So we cannot count the number of elements in such sets. So in this case, we say that it's an infinite set, as long as we are not able to count the number of elements in it. We have the set N, Z, Q, and the Q bar, also the set R, are all infinite sets. These are infinite sets, since we cannot count the number of elements in each one. Okay, now let's move to another important concept, which is the comprehension and the extension form of a set. So we have two forms that we can express our set in it, which is the comprehension form, which is the first one. Also, we have the extension one. Let's start with the comprehension one. In the comprehension one, we should use language as well as symbols. بدي استعمل كلمات وبدي استعمل symbols. So, بالعادة in the comprehension form إذا أنا بعطيكم extension one and then you have to convert it into a comprehension set. Some examples, they are specific ones فينا نستعملهم. يا بيجينا consecutive numbers يعني أرقام ورا بعضهم هلا حأحكي عنها، or prime numbers, or odd numbers, or even, or multiple of a certain number. The last one بعد في عندي سهم which is the divisors. حأحكي عن كل وحدة منهم. Okay. بس بدي أعطيكم note. The prime numbers, they are always positive numbers. Odd, even, multiples and divisors can be either positive or negative numbers. So خليها هيدي ببالنا بهيدي الكيس. Yeah. حبلش بأول example موجود عندي بالPDF. Also حأعطي examples from outside. Yeah. So first حبلش بتبع الPDF يلي -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. When we see consecutive numbers أرقام جايين ورا بعضهم directly أول شيء بدي استعمل language. So بدي أقول x. طيب first we have to think about these numbers. They comes from what set? Are they natural numbers? Are they integers? Rational numbers? Let's see. We have non-decimal numbers, so it's either natural numbers or integers, but since it contains some negative numbers, then they are integers. So x belongs to the set z, such that دغري لما يكون في عندي consecutive numbers بدي حدد هدول النمبرز بين مين ومين. These numbers are between -3 and 2, so we directly write x is between -3 and 2. That's it. Okay. I will give another example. Okay, which is b 0, 2, 4, 6, and 8. First, for the b, we write x belong. These numbers, they are non-decimal positive numbers, so they come from the set n. So x belongs to n. They are not consecutive, so ما في يقول دغري إنه هي between 0 and 8. في عندي condition تاني قبل. So هون في عندي 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. These are even numbers, so we have to write x is an even number. Is it enough? Of course not. Why? لأنه مثلا عندي 10 it's an even number but it's not existed in the set B. وعندي 12 is an even number for example بس كمان ما أنا موجودة بالبي. So when we have to specify that x is between two numbers which are 0 and 8. So x between 0 and 8. Or في اكتبها بطريقة تانية للست B. عندنا x belongs to n. Such that if we notice 0, 2, 4, 6, 8 they are all existed in table of multiplication of 2. موجودين بجدول الضرب تبع 2. So we can say x is a multiple of 2. كمان we have to specify that x is between 0 and 8. So we have two methods to write the set. Okay? Now I will give another example which is c, which is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. First, these numbers are all natural numbers, so x belongs to n such that. خلينا نشوف أي احتمال عنا إياه. Are they consecutive numbers? Of course not, لأنه 5 is not existed here. Also, they are not the prime numbers ليه؟ لأنه 1 it's not a prime number. بس لأذكركم شو يعني prime number. They are the numbers that have two divisors, 1 and itself. طيب ال 1 في كتير بغلطوا فيها بفكروا إنه هي prime number بس ال 1 عندها only one divisor بس ال 1 بتقسمها. ال 1 it's divided by 1 equal 1. So it has one divisor, so it's not a prime number. So C it's not the prime number set. Also, are they odd numbers? Of course not. لأنه 2 it's not an odd number, it's an even one. Also, it's not even set since ال 1 هي odd number. So راح 3 احتمالات من عنا. هلا كمان Are they multiples of a certain number؟ هن موجودين بجدول الضرب تبع حدا من الأرقام. Of course not. عندي 1 2 3 4 كمان لا. خليني نشوف إذا هن divisors. لحتى أعرف whether they are divisors or not بطلع على أكبر رقم موجود عندي بقلب الست which is 12. Let's see. 12 is divisible by 1. 12 divided by 1 is equal to 12. 12 is also divisible by 2, also divisible by 3, by 4, by 6, also by 12. Then x is a divisor of 12. So هون لأنه كل الأرقام الموجودين عندي بقلب الست بيقسموا ل 12 then x بهيدي الكيس it's a divisor of 12. هلا some people will say that إنه x هي between 1 and 12 it's also correct. بس هون in this case it's there's no need. ليه؟ لأنه the divisors of 12 هن إجباري حيكونوا less than 12. أي رقم أكبر من 12 it's not a divisor of 12. Okay, so if you didn't determine that x is between 1 and 12 it's correct. Also if you did it كمان it's correct. Okay, هلا حأعطي examples من عندي كمان على comprehension form. Let's say we عندنا set A minus 4 minus 3 minus 2 minus 1 0 1 2 3 4 5 until 8. Okay, so these are consecutive numbers. So we say that in A x belong لأنه non-decimal positive and negative numbers they belong to the set Z such that x is between two numbers which are the minus 4 and the set and the number 8. Okay. The other example, let's see, B, it's equal to 0, 3, 6, oops, this is a comma, 6, 9, 12, and 15. In this case, let's see, 0, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, these numbers are existed when بجدول الضرب تبع ال 3. So هون they are multiples of 3. وكمان الزيرو انتبهوا لأنه فينا نقول نحن 3 multiplied by 0 it's equal ل 0. So 0 موجودة بجدول الضرب تبع ال 3. Then it's a multiple of 3. Then هون بنقول إنه ال B x belong هون لأنه كلهم they are non-decimal positive numbers so x belongs to n such that ال x is a multiple of 3. Also we have to determine that x between two numbers. هلا هون اجباري بدي احدد الاكس بين اي رقمين. ليه؟ لانه مثلا 21 هي multiple of 3 but it's not existed in the set B and x هي between 0 and 15. So هون بدي احدد انه الاكس بين هدول الرقمين. Okay. The last example about comprehension 4. يلا C هي عندي 2 3 5 7 11 and 13. So هيدول النمبرز they are the prime numbers. هيدول بينقسموا only by 1 وعلى حالهم كمان. So هون C it's the x belongs to n such that x is a prime number. Is it enough? Of course not. ليه؟ لأنه مثلا عندي 17 it's a prime number بس مش موجودة بقلب السي. So C منا كل ال prime numbers. So بدي أحدد بين مين ومين. And the x is between 2 and 13. It's prime number here. Okay? So this is the comprehension form. Now, let's move to the expansion one, which is much easier than the comprehension. Okay, so in the expansion form, we have to list all the elements that existed in the set. Expansion form, it's about listing. يعني أنا بدي أسمي الأرقام اللي موجودين عندي بقلب الset. Supposedly we have the set D for x belongs to n such that x is a multiple. It's a multiple of 4 and x is less than 20 and x هي أصغر من 20. طيب in this case هلا بدي أكتب جدول الضرب تبع ال 4 بس الأرقام بدها تكون أصغر من 20. So first we have 0 بيرجع عنا 4 then 8 then we have 12 then 16. Should we write it 20? No. ليه؟ لأنه هون ال x is strictly less than 20. إذا كانت ال x less than or equal to 20 ساعتها بدي أكتبها ل 20 لأنه لازم تكون equal كمان. بس هون لأنه strictly less than 20 فهون بوصل ل 16 then we stop. Okay, another example. If we have the set E, x belongs to n such that x prime is a prime number and x less than or equal to 9. Okay, So let's find the prime numbers that are less than or equal to 9. عنا E هي 2 is a prime number, 3, 4 is not, 5, we have 6 is not, 7, عندي a prime number. ال 8 مانا prime لأنه بتنقسم على 4 وال 9 مانا prime لأنه it's divisible by 3, so we can stop here لأنه هدول الأرقام prime numbers that are less than or equal to 9. مش معناتها لأنه عندي equal 9 يعني بدي أحط ال 9، لا بدي أفكر فيها x equal ل 9 هيدي prime no، فكرمال هيك ما بحطها بالست E. اوكي هعطي example كمان من عندي application. إذا عندي set E أعطيني إنه هي minus 4 sorry minus 5 minus 4 minus 3 لا عند ال 5 1 0 1 2 3 then 4 and 5. Okay, so we have the set A which is x belongs to E. هلا حأحكي عنه شو يعني x belongs to E such that x is an odd number odd and the x هي less than 4. بدي اكتبها in extension 4. أول شيء x belongs to E يعني I have to take my numbers from the set E. ممنوع اخذ أي رقم برات الست E. So هلا إذا بدي اكتبها in extension 4 بدي فتش على الأرقام that are odd numbers also بدي إياهم يكونوا less than 4. So what are the odd numbers? And the odd numbers they can be either positive or negative. عند ال minus 5 it's an odd number, minus 3 is an odd, minus 1 1 and also we have 3. لهون بنوقف ما أخذنا ال 5 ليه؟ لأنه x is less than 4 بدها تكون عندي so we stop at 3. Let's have another example كمان. إذا عندي ال b بدي اكتبها in extension form such that x belongs to E وعندي x is a divisor of 27 يعني بتقسم ل 27. Let's see. 27 divided by minus 5 they are not divisible by it. And 27 not divisible by minus 4. بينما 27 it's divisible by minus 3 ليه؟ لأنه 27 over minus 3 it gives us minus 9. So عندي بالست B عند ال minus 3. 27 divided by minus 2 ما بتعطينا integer number. 27 divided by minus 1 بتعطينا minus 27 يعني هيدي it's a divisor of it يعني minus 1 بدي أحطها. 0 أكيد it's not a divisor ليه؟ لأنه 27 over 0 ممنوع نحط 0 بالdenominator so it's excluded. 27 divided by 1 so 1 هي a divisor of 27, 2 is not, 3 is a divisor of 27, 4 and 5 are not. Okay. Now let's move to the Venn diagram. Back في عنا Venn diagram, then a subset of a set, then we're done. The Venn diagram. أول شيء حبلش بالexample الموجودة عنا على PDF, then we will move on with my example. Supposedly we have the set E which contains the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Also we have the set A which is 2, 4, 6, 8 and then we have 10. Also we have the set B, it contains the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 and 6. And then we move to the Venn diagram. هلا if we notice all the numbers in A are existed in E. إذا بنطلع 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. All the numbers in A are existed in the set E. يعني we can conclude that A is a part of the set E. Also, B, it has the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. They are also existed in E. يعني all the numbers of B are also existed in E. So also B is a part of the set E. That's why we have to draw the largest set is the set E لأنه هي أكبر وحدة بيناتهم. And the sets A and B, they are parts of this square or this set. أول شغلة we have to do in the Venn diagram is to write the numbers that are common between the sets, the circles. For example, مثلا هون بهذا الexample شو عندي common between A and B. We have 2 is a common number, so حأكتب 2. We also have 4 is a common number, so we write 4. We have 6 is a common number, so we write 6 in the common area. Now, when we finish the common part, we have to move on to the set A. بعد في أرقام بالset A نحن ما كتبناها. We still have the 8 and the 10. So we write 8 and 10. غلط نكتبهم in the common area ليه؟ لأنه they are not common numbers with B. Now خلصنا من ال A, then we have to move to the set B. We still have the 1 and the 3, so we write 1 and the 3 in the set B. هلا each number that is already written in the set should not be repeated. أي رقم كتبناه بقلب الفان دايجرام ممنوع أرجع كرره. يعني ال1 كتبناها هلا بدي أعبي ال E. ال1 كتبناها ما برجع بكتبها. 2 also it's written. 3 كمان. 4. 5 it's not written, so بكتب 5 in this case برا. 6 is written. 7 is not, so we write 7. 8 it's written. 9 is not written yet. with 10 it's also written. So هيك بنكون خلصنا الفان دايجرام. حاعطيكم another example بس بقلبه 3 circles من جوا. Okay. Let's say that we have the set E يلي from 0 لعند 10. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and then we have 10. Also we have the set A يلي هي 2, 3, 5, 7. We have the set B يلي هي 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. The set C which is 1, 2, 4 and 8. هلا in this case all the sets A, B and C they are parts of the set E لأنه كل الأرقام الموجودين بال A وبال B وال C كلهم موجودين بال E كمان. So the largest one is B. خلينا نرسمها ب another color which is pink. Okay, so this is the set E. We have the set A first. Also we have the set B. And we have the set C. Okay, so the first thing we have to fill in the common numbers between the three sets. هيدي أول شغلة. بدي شوف إذا عندي رقم مشترك بين ال three sets. So منطلع بال 2 is found in A in C in B. So هيدي ال common area بيناتهم ثلاثتهم بين ال A وال B وال C. هيدي اللي عملت لها shading بالgreen. So we have the number 2. ال 3 منه common, ال 5 is not common وال 7 منه common. So خلصوا ال common numbers بين ال 3 sets. هلا we have to search for the intersection أو ال common numbers between the two sets. خليني بلش بال A وال B. ال A وال B 3 is not common, 5 is not وال 7 is not. So ال A and B there's no intersection between them. A and C I think 3 منه common, ال 5 كمان 7. So ما في عندي intersection بين ال A وال C. خلينا نشوف بين ال B وال C هلا. عنا ال 4 is common number وعندي also ال 8 is a common number. So عنا هون 4 وعندي كمان ال 8 in this case. طيب هلا بعد ما عبينا الانترسكشن بدي انتقل على كل set لحالها. So in the set A we still have the number 3, 5 and 7. حطيناهم بال A لحالها. Also in the set C we still have the number 1, so we wrote now 1. In the set B we still have 6 and 10. هلا let's check. خلصنا من ال A وال B وال C بدي ارجع لل E هلا. 0 it's not existed in any of these sets, so we write 0. خلصنا من 0. ال 1 already كتبناها. 2 كمان. 3 4 5 6 كمان كاتبينها. 7 8 9 مش كاتبينها, so we write 9 with 10 it's already written. So بنكون خلصنا الفان diagram. Okay. Now حننتقل هلا لآخر part من الدرس يلي هو the subset. The subset of a set. Okay. So what do you mean by the subset of a set? خلينا نفترض the symbol of a subset. خلينا نعطيكم symbol لإلها هي like this مثل letter C, or is not a subset هي C وعليها cross. طيب شو معنى كلمة subset or not a subset? Let's say that إنه عندي set E وعندي set بقلبها لهيدي ال E اسمها A مثلا. As we notice A is a part of the set E. A it's a part of it. يعني كل set A موجودة بقلب set E. So we can say that A is a part of E. يعني امتين بقول عنها هي موجودة بقلب الset E أو subset of E if all the elements of A are existed in the set E أو belongs to the set E, then A is a subset of E. خليني أعطيكم example لنفهمها أكتر. Supposedly we have the set E. It contains the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Also we have the set A which contains the numbers 2, 4 and 6. Also we have the set B, which contains the numbers 1, 5, 8. Let's see. As we noticed, the 2 is existed in E. 4 is also existed in E. 6 is also existed in E. So all the elements of A are found in E, so we can say that A is a subset of E. خلينا نشوف هلا the set B. 1 is existed in E. 5 is existed in E. 8 is not existed in E. So هون بنقول نحن ان B is not a subset of the set E. يعني حتى لو فرقت معنا على رقم واحد دغري بنقول it's not a subset. Either all the elements are containing the second set أو بتكون not a subset. يعني يا كل الelements بدي يكونوا موجودين أو دغري بنقول it's not a subset. خليني أعطيكم note إنه الempty set, the set phi, he is a subset of all sets. Of all sets. يعني إذا أنا عندي set phi هي subset بقلب الset E. والفاي كمان هي موجودة بقلب الست A. والست فاي كمان is existed in the set B. بكل السيتس هي موجودة. أوكي. هلأ حنشوف إنه مبدأ السبست قريب لمبدأ البيلونج وال does not belong. بس أمتين بستعمل subset وأمتين بستعمل belong. لما أنا بدي استعمل belong بكون عم بحكي عن element from element لset بنستعمل belong or does not belong. From a set to another set نستعمل subset or not a subset. واحدة منهم. يعني حأعطي example هلأ ليوضح الفكرة. Supposedly we have the set E. It has the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay. إذا عندي the number 1 بدي استعمل belong, does not belong أو subset or not a subset. To E عندي the number 2 in a set بدي أشوفها إذا هي belongs to E أو subset ما بعرف هلا بنشوف. وعنا the set phi مع الset E حشوف the set 1 5 بقلب الset E or not. وعنا set E إذا هي موجودة بقلب الset E كمان حاستعمل the numbers 8 مع الset E. أوكي. So خلينا نشوف بدي أعمل complete with belong, does not belong, subset or not a subset. هون أول شيء عند ال1 it doesn't have curly braces, so it's an element in this case. هيدي it's an element. هيدي it's a number. For element from an element to a set بدي استعمل belong or does not belong. ال1 is existed in E, so we can say that 1 belongs to E. The other example هون اطلعوا بالتو ليكوا الفرق بين أول وحدة وتاني وحدة. 2 is found in a curly braces, so بهيدي الكيس it's a set in this case. هيدي is a singleton set. Set we use from a set to another set نستعمل subset or not a subset. 2 موجودة بقلب ال E, so it's a subset بقلب ال E. الempty set قلنا هي موجودة بكل subset اسمها هي empty set, يعني عم بحكي عن set from a set to a set, يعني it's a subset بقلبها. طيب 1 5 هيدي set. ال 1 is existed in E وال 5 is also existed in E, so هيدي it's a subset بقلب ال E. خلينا نطلع على ال 8. ال 8 هون without curly braces, so it's an element, so we have to use belong or does not belong. In this case ال 8 is not an element of the set E, so we say that ال 8 does not belong to E. The last one we have E and E. أكيد E is a set يعني بدي استعمل subset or not a subset. كل ال elements اللي بال E موجودين كل ال elements اللي بال E موجودين بقلب الset E, يعني هيدي it's a subset. يعني لازم نعرف نحن all the set is a subset of itself. يعني صار عندي الفاي هي subset بقلب الset E والset E كمان هي subset بقلب الset E, يعني كل set هي subset بقلب حالها. أوكي. لهون بنكون خلصنا هيدا البارت من الدرس.